Hi, welcome to Travel with Austin. I'm Austin, and today we're going to be looking at the Silver Run Tunnel, or tunnel number 19, in Cario, West Virginia. Now, I consider this tunnel to be West Virginia's version of Moonville. It is an old brick train tunnel that is really in the middle of nowhere. And of course, it does have haunting legends behind it. The legend that I know of is the Lady in White. It is a legend that has existed even since the railroad was in order. Basically, the legend goes that at some point, a guest on one of the trains was murdered or killed in some way. And most likely she died in this tunnel. And then, years after, people would be driving the trains through here, and they would see this lady, and they would think that the train had hit her. But when they would go and search for her, they would find no bodies or anything. According to a little story I watched, there have been many reports of this happening when it was in order. I'm honestly not sure if anyone has seen her since the train line went out of order. So another thing to note about this tunnel is that it is actually massive. I know I said that about the Kings Hollow tunnel, but this tunnel is almost a quarter mile in length, which is insane. As you can see, it has rained here recently. There is water pouring everywhere. So I'm actually about to enter the tunnel for the first time. I'm very creeped out by this tunnel, but I'm going to attempt to make it to the other side. So, before I do though, let me talk about how to get here, because it is very difficult to get here, I would say. First, what you'll want to do is go on your GPS and search for Cario, West Virginia. This will take you to an old town that is basically a ghost town at this point. It seemed very abandoned when I went through. As a side note, there is an abandoned school on top of the hill. It was the first thing I saw when I came in through here. It is owned by a campground now, so you can't really explore it because there are people camping up there. But I got to go up there and at least take some pictures of the outside, which I might put at the end of this video if I remember. But then once you get to Cario, West Virginia, you're going to want to put in the GPS coordinates to the tunnel onto Google Maps. You can't do this first, because if you do, Google Maps will try to take you up some roads that are not really meant for cars. And then, when you get to the GPS coordinates, there will be a small pull-off for you to park your car at. And then it's about a quarter-mile walk to the tunnel. So in the walk to the tunnel, you actually get to kind of see how long the tunnel is. And then you'll be faced with the tunnel. So like I said, it is a bit difficult to get to. It's a lot more steps than just putting it into Google Maps. But hopefully it is worth it. So I'm now actually going to try to walk into the tunnel. I brought a handy lantern with me that will hopefully light up the way. And I'm going to try to make it through all the way to the other side, which hopefully I can do. Okay guys, so I'm now entering the tunnel. This is my fourth time entering the tunnel. The big issue I'm running into is with no matter what I use, it is too dark to see when I get even a little bit into the tunnel. Right now, I'm probably less than 10 feet away from the entrance and I can still see. So, basically this time, what I'm going to try is I have my lantern that is now attached to me. I have the flash on my iPhone. And I'm also got my DSLR, which I can flash with. Now, as we enter the tunnel, one of the first things you'll notice is this thing. I believe it's called an alcove. And I'm not really sure what it would be used for, but my guess would be that if a train was coming and you were stuck in the middle of this tunnel, you could use the alcove to get out of the train's way and press yourself up against the wall. Now, these could be also to like something that doesn't exist anymore because they are all bricked in, but I can't tell if it's natural or if it is done after. So as you can see, you already can barely see anything in the tunnel, and we're not that far from the entrance. However, this is the most successful I've been so far. Normally when we get this far in, the camera can't see anything. So if we take out my DSLR, I can kind of flash the tunnel for a second. So a big thing to note about this tunnel is how long and how dark it is. The post I read that actually led me to come to this tunnel did tell me, hey, it's dark. And you kind of don't realize how long a quarter mile of darkness is until you're in it. So even with the flash on, even with my lantern, the camera can't see anything. I can actually see a bit though. So using my camera flash, take photos. So just to give an idea of how far we are right now, that back there is the entrance. I was right, the tunnel is curved. You can see looking back the curve. I believe it's just not apparent when you're first coming into here because the curve is in the darkness, and I can see the curve up ahead too. So there are a lot of these little alcoves that you could see in the tunnel. There seems to be one. Oh, that freaked me out. Okay. Seems to be one every few feet. I would say maybe 10, 15 feet. And they switch sides. So, yep, although you can't see it, my camera will flash again. I have to wait, it's busy. Oh, okay. There is one over on that side now. So a nice thing about this tunnel is there isn't any graffiti anywhere, at least that I can visibly see, which I think is in part because it is so difficult to get to. Not only is it difficult to get to, but I mean, you can't see anything. I mean, I've got a flashlight on. I have a lantern on its highest setting. And I have my iPhone flash on. And I'm occasionally using my camera flash, which is actually the only time I can see anything in here that isn't more than 5 feet above me or in front of me. So this tunnel is very interesting, actually. I would say it's definitely worth my trip here. I would say if you are coming here, I would say we're probably in the middle of the tunnel right now. I could be wrong though. I would say if you are coming here, probably come with other people. Come with powerful flashlights because it is a dark tunnel. Also, as you can probably hear in the audio, the tunnel does echo a lot. So I'm actually most of the way through the tunnel. So this is good. I mean, the tunnel is mostly, it's a tunnel. It's mostly the same all throughout. It's just alcoves switching from left to right. The floor is dirt, although in this area it's like a dirt gravel, which is nice. Something I had mentioned when I did the first part of this video before I came into the tunnel was that that there was water flooding the entrance of the tunnel. And I didn't really know how far I'd be able to go, but once you get inside the tunnel, the water is staying off to the sides. So that is very nice. As you can see, probably see on your end, we are getting close to a light, a curve. There is horse poop on the bottom of this tunnel. There's lots of it everywhere. So I guess that is another way. It's very similar to the Minville Tunnel, because people do ride horses through the Minville Tunnel as well. So I'm gonna stop right here for a second and show you how far we've come. Come pretty far. And I'm hoping we're near the end. I'm not really looking forward to walking this whole thing back. But I do feel more at ease now that I have light for myself. So we're nearing the curve that looks like it's gonna take us out to the final end. Like I've said, this is my first time going through this tunnel, so I'm not really sure what's at the other end. I did read online that there were some abandoned buildings to the west of this tunnel, but I'm not really sure what direction I'm moving in and the condition of those buildings. So if I do find those buildings, I may make another video about them, or I may add it onto this video. So we are getting close to the exit. As we're getting close to the exit, the ground is becoming muddier again, and I can hear water flowing on this side. Now this is part of the North Bend Rail Trail, I believe. And there are actually a few more tunnels that go through this. And West Virginia is just full of train tunnels. So as we come out here, we're coming out to the other side. Something I do notice is that on this side, the alcoves are bigger. It's a lot bigger than the ones on the other side. And here we are, we're out on the other side of the tunnel. It took me about 9 minutes to walk through that, which is kind of crazy timing. And here is this side of the tunnel. You can see the 19 at the top. And from the other side, I mentioned that you could kind of see some light. On this side, you can see no light. It looks like pitch blackness just going in. So, like I said, this is in Cario, West Virginia. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it kind of is worth seeing. You can also go on the North Bend Rail Trail and see it. Just remember to bring a flashlight, as it is really long. Anyway, that's all I have for this video today. Sorry that it was kind of just me ranting through a tunnel because I was a little bit creeped out. But this is tunnel number 19, or the Silver Run Tunnel. And thank you guys for watching. If you like this, please subscribe for more.